Flosstube, welcome back. I'm Erin, the 2 Martini Stitcher here on YouTube and on Instagram. And this is my channel about cross stitch. So welcome. It is Monday, August 3rd. Yep, Monday. For those of you that are regular subscribers, first of all, thank you for coming back to spend another weekly update happy hour with me. It's not happy hour though today. It is Monday, which is a day later than I typically film, which also means murder ball. I'm downstairs. It is Monday, very early afternoon, so no happy hour today because it's a skosh early in the day for me. I still have lots of stuff to get done. So today I just have sparkling water. And still need to get the water in, so I have a little sparkling water with a hint of black cherry, which is probably like my favorite flavor. If anything's gonna be flavored, black cherry. Black cherry is where it's at. So it's Monday early afternoon. You may hear kids running around, popping in and out, dogs. We're gonna get a taste of probably real life today, since it's not Sunday evening cloistered upstairs in the only room besides a bedroom with a door. That's why I typically film up there, and that's why it's used to be my craft space. It's now dance room and home office for the husband who is still working from home and will be for the foreseeable future. So anyway, thank you for coming back to hang out with me again today. I have no notes. We're going to be flying by the seat of our pants a little bit here, but it's been a week. It's been a little bit of a week, guys. There's not really an interesting reason why I didn't film yesterday like I normally do, other than we were really busy all day and I kind of lost track of the day and time, which seems to happen these days. So first a little bit of housekeeping, and then we'll jump into what the week looked like, stitching, probably otherwise. We're just gonna show stuff and chitter chatter, so you guys are gonna see what I worked on. We'll talk briefly about plans. I have a little bit of stitchy kindness and haul, and that's what we're going to do today. But first, a little bit of housekeeping. Last week, I was using a new microphone, and it was not great. As I listened to it back, whenever I listen back to my videos to type up the show notes, I always wear a pair of Bluetooth headphones, like noise canceling headphones, because lots of people, distractions, they frequently buzz. And I think that it's probably because of the number of other wireless Bluetooth devices being used in the house all the time. And I think it's a little bit of interference. So when I heard the buzzing on the video from last week, I chalked it up to my headphones, and I didn't realize that that was actually on the video. So for all of you guys who let me know about it, thank you so much. I also got some suggestions that perhaps my phone and or needle minders were too close to the microphone. I'm also not sure it helped the echo that much. So thank you for your patience with me working with new equipment. I'm going to do some more testing and playing with it. I'm not using it today because I think that the mic on my computer is usually pretty good, especially when it's not echoey and it's not down here. So that's the little bit of housekeeping. Everything else I think we'll probably hit as we go. Oh, the one thing I did want to chat about as far as, you know, hey, how things went last week, what was going on. It was a busy week. I feel like last Monday was a month ago. Like, seriously, when I was flipping through looking at what I worked on last week, I was like, that was last week. That feels like a month ago. I think that that's probably because we've just been busier than normal. Not normal. We've been probably about 50% busy to what we were pre-COVID. And that feels really busy. I did a little bit of driving down to the dance studio because my youngest was able to snag some in-person spots at the studio last week. So I did some driving down to the dance studio. That took up some time, and we just had some appointments. We had some appointments this week, things that I think we thought, we put off a bit, thinking when things calm down, we'll do those, preventative care type things that now it looks like if we put off until things settle down might never happen. So masked up, all new protocols. We had some appointments this past week. We also were figuring out what is going to happen with my oldest regarding going back to college. She attends the University of Washington. We live close. We're within commuting distance. She was guaranteed housing. All of her classes are online, and her roommates are not returning to campus. So she was not very much interested in going back to campus, potentially living in she would have her own room, but with a common room and a common kitchen with people she didn't know for online classes, because she knows all of her courses for the fall quarter are going to be delivered online. However, sorry, I was getting a phone call on my cell phone. I just wanted to make sure it was nothing super urgent. So she wasn't real interested in going back to campus, which we totally understand. If she had wanted to, we would have been supportive of that. She's a smart kid, makes good choices. However, she's about done being at home. And since everybody's going to be at home doing school online in the fall, we were figuring out other options. She has a couple other good friends who are also going to be doing their university classes online, even though they typically go out of state. So we spent some time this week, she spent a lot of time this week looking for an apartment for the three of them to move in together. So the three of them will just be a little family unit doing their university courses together and getting some space from their siblings and having not really a college experience, but at least being back out on their own to the extent that they can be. They'll be close by. So we were working on that, which also led to, hey, we desperately need a new couch and you guys might need some furniture when you move in. Colleges start out here quite a bit later. She won't go back until the end of September for school. So we have a little bit of time. So we also, yesterday, we're doing a lot of couch shopping. So we were out looking for new furniture yesterday. It was fun. We'll see what we end up with. Hi, buddy. Don't know where I was going with that. I took a tangent. Whew, that took a left turn. Okay, so we were doing that. The other thing that was exciting that happened this past weekend was, I know where I was going, Velo Stitchers. Velo Stitchers wrapped up. We had our last Zoom meetup on Friday, our last fundraising Zoom meetup on Friday. It was a lot of fun. You can still donate. The donation links will be open until October. But our Velo Stitchers event is now complete, and I want to give a humongous thank you to everyone that donated and supported. I ended up 150% of my goal. Velo Stitchers hit their big goal. And so I did want to take a moment and thank every single person that donated to my Velo Stitchers donation page, which I was looking at the list. It's a lot of people. So rather than me read them all out, I'm going to put a couple graphics with all of their names in right here. Sincerely, thank you. Thank you so much. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate the support, whether you donated $5, $100. I read all the comments on the site. Some of you were donating for very personal reasons, and I really appreciate you, and so does the Cleveland Clinic, and hopefully we'll get some progress forward on FFOing cancer together. I bet you guys want to see a special WIP, huh? On the Velo Stitchers meetup, I finished out my last hour of the 100 hours. It was the last day. I'm a procrastinator. I'm a procrastinator at heart. If you give me 6 days to do something, I will do it. I will take 6 days to do it. Hold on just a moment. Okay. Sorry about that. Now I'm going to be the person with the barking dog in the video. I hope that didn't set off your dogs. If it did, sorry. Where was I? Oh, procrastinating. Yeah, I just work best with a deadline. I mean, I will meet that deadline. It might be right when it's due. I work great under a deadline. So the last hour on Harry Potter book covers, I stitched on the Velo Stitcher meetup. That was so fun when my timer went off and was chiming, and we all knew that I had hit my 100 hours, and it left me like 20 stitches left to do in the book. So I finished up the book. It's out of the Q-snap, been ironed, and here it is. You guys ready? There it is. Book 2 is done. I love it so much. Yeah. So when I started the 100 hours, I think I was right about here, like of the second book, because I'm stitching these. For anybody who's new, this is Harry Potter book covers by Fox and Teacup Designs. I don't think I didn't bring over the cover page, so I will put a picture of what the final project is going to look like right here. So that's what it's going to look like. I am stitching it one book at a time. This is the supersize max color version. I'm doing it on 18 count Aida with 2 strands of the called for DMC. And so I think I was like up here on book 2 when I started the 100 hours. So 100 hours got me all the way down. So I'll bring it in close so you guys can see. Here we go. I'll pull an Ellen. I don't sing as nice as her. Boom. So there it is. Book 2 is done, and now it's going to take a well-deserved nap. This is not going to come back out in August. I did not put it on my Arbitrary August wheel. This is going to take a nice little nap, and honestly, it'll probably be good for the fabric to relax a little bit outside of the Q-snap. Harry Potter book covers. Book 2 done. And I started that book, I should know when. It was maybe January or February when I started that book. Let me see if it's on my Instagram, because I know it was after the first of the year, February 10th. So I started that book February 10th. And that actually puts me at, so it's all 7 books. It's like a slice of all 7 books. That's the second book. But this is like 36% of the pattern is completed. So the first couple books are a much bigger portion of the pattern than subsequent books. So the first book took me 9 months to complete. I started in April and finished at the end of January. So I think it took me like 9 months to complete. And then February, March, April, May, June, July. It took me like 5 months to finish the second book. But there was a real big push there for 2. So I don't expect to get another book done that fast. So that's Harry Potter book covers, and that was exciting. And thank you to everybody that, even if you couldn't donate to fellow Stitchers, that cheered me on. I felt it. I felt it every time one of you messaged me and said, "You can do it. You've got this." That was really awesome. Okay, so what else did I work on this in this like last week that lasted a month? Felt like it was month long. I started out the week on. Yeah, these backwards. Okay. Bring my tote of whips over here. I started out the week. Not on that one. Guys, there's a mess over here. Not that one. Not that one. Maybe I will just pull them out and show them to you in whatever order they're in. I thought I put these in order. Okay, another exciting finish, since we're showing finishes, was I had been working on Heartstring Samplery's Advent Calendar ornaments. Advent Candle ornaments. That was kind of my Jolly July, was that I was planning to do one of these ornaments a week because they are a gift for my parents. I had been staying on that schedule, and I did. I finished Love. So last week I showed you I just started Love. I got Love all done. Look, I even ironed them. And then folded it back up so it's creased again. But there's all 4 of those Advent candle ornaments done. So that's pretty exciting. I have already destashed this pattern. So it's already winging its way to a new home. I did get the destash set up. I posted it on my Instagram, I think on Friday. I got the account set up and then put everything up on Saturday. I think there's only a couple things left. So thank you to everybody that saw it and checked it out and made my first destash such a success. I need to do the totaling and see where that puts me on Stitch from Stash. I ended January. Guys, if we went back to January, can we go back to January and do this whole thing, this whole pandemic correctly this time? 2 over. I finished July, which is like the second half of Stitch from Stash, $77 in the hole. So that wasn't bad considering that I had bought that huge auction item. If you were looking for my set of those charts on the D-Stash, I had been chatting back and forth with the person I outbid for that auction item, and she was interested in purchasing my set. It wasn't really a set, but it was all the charts and fabric that I had chosen for it, or I had in my stash that I was going to work for it. And so she was interested in it. I gave her first dibs on it. She took me up on it. It's already winging its way to its new home. So, but this is also going to be headed to its new home tomorrow. So, but there they are, all 4 of them. These were such a fun stitch. I stitched these in over-dyed cotton floss from my stash. It's charted in all, I think, Gloriana silk. And I just pulled what I thought would look good from my stash. So all that information will be below. I think I've told you guys what it is a few times, but it's the biggest change I made is that instead of using 2 different green flosses, I just used one variegated. I used Blue Spruce by Weeks Dye Works instead of using 2 different greens in the leaves, and I think it came out looking really nice. So I am headed down to Portland on Wednesday. I'm gonna go and wait my turn and go to Acorns. I have not been in a craft store other than couch shopping this weekend. I don't think I've been in anything besides a grocery store since beginning of March. I haven't been to Acorn since February. So I'm pretty excited about that. But these, I think are going to go down with me so that I can have Jolene finish them. I make them look really beautiful because they're going to be a gift for my parents. So that was Advent candle ornament set. What else did I stitch on? What is this? Oh, well, I'm definitely not showing that yet. Heh. Oh, now I'm just throwing stuff on the floor. Okay, I also worked on, because I was still doing Uno in Semi-Sane Stitchers last week, and this was one of my Uno WIPs, the Suffrage Act. So I worked on Suffrage Act as well last week, and I'm getting really close. I would like to have this finished this month for the centennial. I have a needle with floss just hanging out, not on a needle minder. There's a needle minder on the project. The needle is just stuck in the fabric, but of course it is. Here's where I got to. So I got some good progress on this, and I'm hoping to get this finished up maybe by next week. Maybe when you see this next, it'll be a finish. So I finished out this urn and the bottom of her dress. I think I finished the dress last week, finished up the bunting. So there's really not much left. I need to do the flag and then the lettering. And I'm actually going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to get rid of these stars, and it's going to say vote and have 1920 and 2020 on there. So that's my plan for that. There's Suffrage Act by Little House Needleworks. And this is on a 32 count mystery linen from Color and Cotton that I got in a grab bag last December. And I'm stitching it in all the called for colors. So I don't know what color this is. I think it might be white tea. And now that the lady's dress is all done, it is light on there, but I think it shows up okay. It shows up better in person than it is on the camera. I need to put her shoes on too. Right now she's floating. But I think it shows up okay. And so I think I'm going to leave it. I don't think I'm going to backstitch her. So there's Suffrage Act. And I haven't worked on that for a few days, but I'm hoping that will be a finish this coming week. And the reason that I kind of turned focus from that one a little bit after Uno is because I have been putting all of my energy, extra energy, into tingles. So this is Lizzie Kate Tingles. There's 6 charts they each have 2 designs. So there's 12 total, and I'm stitching them all together just like this. And there's a freebie border that I will link below that shows you what order to put them in and has some of the extra little elements that you need, border elements, to put them all together. So I have it all rolled up. I needle minder. Hang on. I've been really pushing to get this done so I can also take this with me on Wednesday and give to Jolene to finish. And I'm really close, but I have still quite a bit of stitching to do today and tomorrow to make it happen. So here we go. Lizzie Kate Tingles. This is on 14 count Aida in the colorway Prank. And here, we'll start at the top. It's not done, but if I do finish this, you're not going to see it next week because I'm going to take it and drop it off. So I'm going to give you a nice close up. And I'm humming a Christmas song while showing you a Halloween piece. That makes good sense. Ah, look! So I finished Gone Haunting. I finished that Saturday, I think, not in time for it to be a finish for July, but it'll be a finish for Stitch for Stash for August. So I finished Gone Haunting and I've started Spooky. So all I have left is that big old pumpkin, but it's a big old pumpkin. So I have the big old pumpkin, this little bit of border, and then the final bottom border to do. And then I need to attach all the buttons. So, but I'm so close. I had been doing this 1 block a month, which would have had me finishing it, I think in August, not in August, in October, but I've just decided I wanted it done. I got to the point with this project that I just decided it was time for it to be done. Do you guys get like that where you're like, this is it? I'm not rage finishing yet. Michelle Garrett has coined the term rage finishing, which we've all been there, where we are so close and we just want this project done. I'm not quite rage finishing. I'm just like, if I can get this done, I can get it to Jolene, and I'm just ready. I'm ready to have this off the plate and done. But this one took quite a bit of time. There's tons of little color changes, but I love this diamond border down here. I love that. So look closely, because hopefully I will not be showing you this next week because it will be with the finisher. There we go. Tingles. So close. So close to Tingles being done. Its birthday is Thursday. So that's the other reason I would really like to finish it up, and then it won't even turn 1. It'd be so nice to have this done before its birthday. I am stitching this with mostly called for DMC, listed DMC conversion. So it calls for all weeks dye works. I am using the DMC for all of them except Sweet Potato and Guacamole. Those two I felt like had big enough chunks in some of the patterns that it made the variegation, the overdyed, worthwhile, but the rest of it I did in the DMC. I think it looks great. I did sub out whatever the listed DMC conversion is for Curry. Weeks Dye Works Curry was so close to the, like, it wasn't right on the fabric, and so I used 743 instead for Curry. But that's it. That's the only substitution I made on that. So wish me luck. I have some stitching to do in addition to my Arbitrary August bins. It's fine. Okay, what else did I work on? Oh, at the beginning of last week, see, this is where I thought I was going to start, but I didn't. I spent like a day and a half working on Olga, because this was my O for Alphabet Soup in Semi-Sane Stitchers. So this was a Mania start, but I was using the O for Olga, and I'll show you where I got to on that. I am stitching this on, I think, 36 count. Yes, 36 count Sea Salt by Color and Cotton, using all the called for flosses. And this is where I got to on Olga. So there we go. So I had most of the cat's face done. So I finished out the cat's face, started a little bit on the body, and added 3 more letters. Now, the E I moved. I decided I'm gonna do my initials in a different color. They're all supposed to be this like black, but I decided I'd do the E in this, like, is it pomegranate? It's not pomegranate. Can't remember what it is. It is persimmon. I decided I was going to do my initials in the persimmon, and I moved because they're not in order anyway. So this is where I put the E where the M's supposed to be. I'm swapping the E and the M. So when you're looking at it, it's my initials EM. Kind of in the right order? I don't know. They were just easy to swap. So I'm swapping the E and the M and making them a different color for my initials. And yeah, and I got the rest of Olga's face done. I mean, I need to put the whiskers in, but look how annoyed. And there's more like light colored stitches here that you can't quite see that well, but it was a good amount of progress, I felt like, on little Olga. I really like this. Really love that piece. Pardon me. So that was O for Semi-Sane Stitchers Alphabet Soup, which means we're on to P. I'm going to be using Penny Autumn for P. I haven't pulled it yet. I wanted to get Tingles and Suffrage Act done before I work on Penny Autumn. We'll see. Penny Autumn might have to come in before Suffrage Act. All right. Moving along on the week, as we came to the end of the month, the 29th is always Long Dog Leap Day Sal Day. So, of course, I pulled out Cardinal Points for my Long Dog Leap Day Sal. And I worked on this on the 29th. I'm stitching this on a 36 count white even weave, 1 strand over 2 threads with all the called for colors. And this is where I got to. So I put in this whole little motif here, and then I also did some more. I brought down this black all the way down this side because that wasn't there before, and did a bunch of other little leaves. I know I did this one here and some of these little twosies. So it doesn't look like a lot, but it was quite a bit of time working on this that day, because these little flowers here, there's 4 different colors of like bluish green in these little stems. So anywhere these were used, I put a little bit in around here as well. So, but I didn't add any other flowers. I just did this motif. I was just getting anxious to work on something in the middle, and I'm getting close to like, I do want to work kind of within this page. I do kind of want to get this page done before I move down. So there we go. So that's pretty good progress. Jenny Long Dog Stitcher was showing her progress on her Long Dog Leap Day, her chosen long dog for Long Dog Leap Day Sal, and she was talking about she wanted to do 2 pages a year. I think maybe 2 pages a year, and that would get her done in 4 years. Regardless, she had done the math on how many pages she needed to do a year. I need to figure that out and make sure that I'm on track. Here, let's do that together. How many pages are in this sucker? There's one, page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 pages. So I need to do a page and a half a year. Okay, so I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing okay. I mean, so I have until next February, right, to finish off this page and do like half of another, so that I'll be done in the 4 years. Yeah, all right. I sometimes feel like I'm not making really great progress, but I think I'm doing okay. So there it is. I love this piece. I love the colors. It's just stunningly beautiful. I'm using all the called for, except for this flower here was supposed to be sunflower. This is gold leaf. This was supposed to be sunflower. My sunflower was the same color as golden leaf, as gold leaf. So I subbed out, and I wanted it to be lighter like it shows in the picture. So I subbed it out for a color and cotton, autumn gourd. I think autumn gourd. I'll put it below because they're on. I mean, like, seriously, look at this. How can you not want to stitch this piece when you see that color palette? And these, I love these. They're reusable floss drops from That's So Kelly, who does the Bitsy Bobs. You can order them. And then like I write on there in Sharpie, but then it just comes off with alcohol when you're done. So for these kind of long-term projects, I like putting them on these floss cards, because then I don't need to keep looking back at the key, and it doesn't beat up the hanging tags as much. So there we go. And it is in this amazing project bag by Diddly Daddle Designs. Of course, cardinal points, cardinals. See, you have to have a matching bag. It's not a rule, but it's close. Well, pretty close to a rule. All right. So then on Friday, I started I kind of planned, I was kind of thinking I wanted to start this anyway, so it would be a WIP for Arbitrary August. And then I decided to put a couple new starts on Arbitrary August wheel anyway. But then it fit really conveniently with Enchanted Stitching Tasks. So on Friday, I started Hands-on Design Autumn, Let's Talk Autumn. She called it Chalk Talk? Hashtag Chalk Talk. Let's Talk Autumn. I love these. It's a new series by Kathy, and I started the big one, but I also I'm almost wondering, like, I almost feel like maybe I should start with these little hoops. Like, how cute is that? But I started that on Friday. I am doing it on some dirty chalkboard, 16 count Aida, and dirty chalkboard from Brandy at Bestitch Me. I custom ordered a half yard of it, knowing that I was going to do all 4 of these charts. I haven't cut it up because I'm going to do the first one and then cut it. So it's going to look like a ridiculously big piece of linen. It is. And I'm doing this in the called for DMC. And there's my start. Harvest. I mean, but it's a start. And I'll tell you guys, I love Kathy's lettering. I love her. I love any chart she has with lettering. They're so fun to stitch. For some reason on Friday, I kept screwing this up. I had to unstitch so many times. It's not, her charts are easy to read. I normally never have a problem doing lettering. I just could not, I don't know what was going on. And this, this is still one too long. So I shorted the S. Because at that point, that would have been like the 5th time I would have had to pick out. And I'm like, nope, it looks fine. It's fine. It's fine. So I have Harvest, the white of Harvest. I have to do the shadow. So there's my start. There is, Candace K let me know that there is a stitch along group for this on Facebook. The stitch along doesn't technically start until the 15th of August. So I'm not going to post any pictures in there yet because they've asked us not to if you started early. Psst, I started early. Psst. I'll also probably finish after everybody else. I'm not that great about stitch alongs. Annie Joyfield Stitcher and I were chatting back and forth a little bit, talking about stitch alongs and the ones we think are so cute, but we're terrible at keeping up with them. And she said, now I can't remember, someone had coined the phrase start along. That is definitely what all Sal's, S-A-L, they're not stitch alongs for me. That I was like, yes, I feel that. I own that. I'm a start alonger. I will start with y'all on any project you want to start. I make no promises that I will continue to stitch on it and finish in any timely manner at all. That just may not happen. Picking whips up off the floor. Okay. So that takes me through everything that I was working on up until Friday and a little bit beyond Friday. Saturday, August 1st, Arbitrary August. Yay! I'm spinning the wheel every day for Arbitrary August. And the wheel, my decision wheel, which I didn't bring with me, has on it all of my whips with the exception of anything that has a assigned day. So if it's something that I typically stitch on every single month on an assigned day, I did not put it in Arbitrary August. Just because they get stitched on regularly anyway, we're going arbitrary this month, and I wanted to be able to touch projects that I don't normally touch in the course of a month. I also left off Harry Potter book covers because that just got 2 months worth of love and needs a rest. I did put on Farewell to Anger because it has not been touched in 2 months. So even though that normally is in my regular rotation, it has not seen the light outside its project bag for 2 months. So I figured I'd give it a shot, and it came up for today. So I get to stitch on Farewell to Anger some today. But what were the first two? Okay, so the very first day of Arbitrary August, the wheel spun Cross Stitch Nation by Heartstring Samplery. This was also a Mania start, and I was really excited to get it back out again. So here is where I got to on Cross Stitch Nation. I kind of thought, oh, I'll bop down and start this one lady. And as I was stitching, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll get the whole lady done. That's a lot of dress. I mean, it's super fun to stitch. So I haven't even finished the first color on the dress. I also did put in where I left it. When I picked it up, I had a tiny little bit of this color on a needle. So I just used it up. And then I had I belong and I didn't have the G. And I couldn't leave it like that. So I put the G on and 2 and decided that I'm going to come down and work on the people and the bottom border and then keep moving across. So here's where I am. And this lady is all stitched as called for. I'm using all the called for colors. This is on, I think it's a 32. This is a mystery even weave that I got off of Stash Unload. And it counts out kind of between a 32 and a 36. So I think it was a 32 that shrunk a little bit when it was dyed. I used it for Gobble Gob. So you can see there's a piece cut out. That's where Gobble Gob was. And now I'm putting Cross Stitch Nation on it. And I really love it. I have no idea. This came with no tag. I bought it off of Stash Unload last summer. So, I mean, it could have been even the seller dyed it themselves, but I really love it. I love that it's like an ivory taupe. It's not brown. It's really kind of like a grayish taupe. So, yeah, so I did this lady as called for, but I am going to convert the hair and skin on several of the people as I go along. Yeah. But this lady, I kind of started out, I kind of thought she had similar hair color to me, but now that I look at it, I think this lady on the end with the crown is going to be me in the green dress. Yep. I like that. So I'm going to convert some of the people, but there is where I got to on Cross Stitch Nation. So that was day 1 of Arbitrary August. And then day 2, I spun Quicker Geometric Puzzle by Ink Circles. And I have worked on this year. I think it was my eye. I think I used it for Alphabet Soup for eye. But it had been a while, so I was happy to get this back out again. I either stitched on it for eye or because it was its birthday, because this has definitely had its birthday. I'm stitching this on a 32 count white even weave with all the called for DMC in this colorway. Tracy provides 2 colorways. And now that I look, this one is really beautiful too, this olive and teal, but the like kind of plums of this one really drew me in. So that's the colorway I'm stitching. And here is where I got to. So I put in this whole motif and then started on this one. And I'll tell you guys, it pained me to not finish this motif out because I like, if I start one, I like to finish it, but it's huge. See, it wraps all the way around. And so I knew it wasn't getting finished, but this, doing this part of it, got me an official page finish. So I've way worked into other pages. I worked into a page this way and way into a page down here, but it's because if I start a motif, I like to finish it. But now, like this much, the page stopped like here. So, and then over here. But so now this is an official page finish and I'm well on my way. I'm going to work my way down. I think I'm going to work my way down and then over this way, just because I like to roll. I stitch in hand. Like 90% of the time I stitch in hand. So I like to kind of roll it up as I work my way left. So I kind of want all of this done as I just figured out that's how I like to work, is down and across. So there we go. So that's Quaker Geometric Puzzle. Love it. Loved having that out for a day. And then today is Farewell to Anchor. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. So that's all the WIPs. That's everything I worked on. It's everything I worked on this week. Oh, except for knitting. Should I show you guys my knitting WIP? Why not? It's in a sad plastic bag. I appreciate all of the suggestions that all of you lovely knitters had for which knitting bags you like. I can't remember who I went with, which Etsy store I ended up buying one from, but I do have one coming. So this is the Empower bandana. I'll link all the information below. I don't have the picture with me. I don't know why it's not in there. The pattern's pretty simple. It's the same thing over and over until it's like 20 inches long. So at this point, I don't need the pattern and I don't know where it is. All right. The yarn is from Three Fates. It's a DK weight in the colorway Mosey. And it's beautiful. This bandana was suggested to be, it's kind of a craftivism project, and it was suggested to be in purple. So I went with a beautiful purple. Okay, and here's where I got to. I did do some work on this while I was at, like, waiting around at some appointments this week. So here's where I am now. It's still going very well. There's definitely more wonkiness happening. First off, I clearly forgot to do an increase here. Because you increase on either the right side or the wrong side and then just go back again. And I clearly got in a groove and forgot an increase. Might have done it twice. I think just once. So missed an increase there. That's okay. And then this went on. I think it's an accidental yarn over. And I've looked at videos of how to fix it. So I think I can fix it. You can, like, you know, here's the thing. I have no idea how to rip out stitches without tearing out the whole thing. Like, I don't know how you take out just a row. I maybe need to figure that out, but I'd already gotten several rows deep before I realized that had happened. So I've watched some videos and it looks like when it's all done, you can fix it. So I'm going to attempt to fix it when it's all done. But there we go. There it is. I'll show it to you up close. I mean, I'm getting, I don't know, what do I have there? Do we think maybe 5 inches? I don't know. But I think it looks pretty good, even with this little weirdness. I mean, it's going to be like a bandana around my neck. Nobody's going to be looking that closely, right? But I'm having fun. I love it, and I'm having a good time. So that's all that matters. I'm enjoying it. It definitely is easier. I see the appeal. Like, it's easier to pull that out if you have 5-10 minutes to kill than to pull out a cross stitch project. I'm seeing the appeal to the knitting. Okay. That is definitely it for WIPs. Plans. My plans are Arbitrary August to spin the wheel every day, finish Tingles by Wednesday, and then also Suffrage Act. So Arbitrary August, I always tend to work on like 2 projects a day anyway. I usually have about 4 to 5 hours of stitching time in the evening after dinner. I don't usually have a lot going on after dinner, so once dinner's all cleaned up and I sit down to stitch, I usually have 4 or 5 hours. My attention span on one project is about 2.5. Not gonna lie. So I tend to work on 2 projects a day anyway. So I will definitely, Arbitrary August will get 2.5 hours at least, and then either Tingles or Suffrage Act, like Tingles till it's done, then Suffrage Act till it's done, and I do need to get Penny Autumn out. Enchanted Stitching did post their challenges for this week. The movie this month is Princess and the Frog, which I love. So I think what I'm going to do is just see as Arbitrary August spins come. If they fit, they fit. If they don't, they don't. And I'm not going to worry about it. I'm kind of feeling, I had signed up to do Music Mania in Semi-Sane Stitchers, where you like stitch on a project for the number of stitches. Like you pick songs and say the song's 3 minutes, 23 seconds. You would do 323 stitches. Because I thought that would be great because it would work with Arbitrary August because you're just putting stitches in to the length of the songs. I'm not feeling like counting stitches right now. I'm just not. So that may not happen. I mean, it may later in the month if I feel like counting stitches, but I'm feeling a no counting stitches moment, so I'm going with that. I loved, are you guys watching Stitch Mania, the talk show? I'll link them below. They put out a new video, their second one, and it was all about, you know, like giving yourself grace if you're not feeling like stitching or, you know, you're not feeling a certain project. And that's kind of how I'm feeling with this right now, is I'm not feeling like counting stitches at the moment. I just want to sit and stitch on my project and not worry about counting stitches. So Enchant Stitching challenges may not happen and Music Mania may not happen while I'm doing Arbitrary August. Or who knows, in a couple days I might feel like counting stitches again and I'll start counting again. So that's it for plans. Pretty much keep spinning. And I've been posting that every day on Instagram. So if you want to see my daily progress and daily wheel spins, then you can follow me on Instagram. And so I think that I'm realizing that brings me to giveaways. And I did not pull a winner yet for last week's giveaway. So pause a moment while I do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, so last week's giveaway was the last week of Jolly July, so I was giving away this cutie pie little ornament by Little House Needleworks. It's one of their all dolled up fa la la. And I asked you just to tell me you wanted to stitch the ornament. And I just went to my other desktop computer and pulled the winner, and it is Christine Nehan. Christine Nehan, congratulations. She says, I'd like to stitch that beautiful ornament. Great way to end July. It was a great end to July, wasn't it? End of LO Stitchers and heading into Arbitrary August. Guys are going to have fun with me butchering that all month. Oh, also Arbitrary August. Several of you let me know that it was started by Stitchin' Mommy, Sarah the Stitchin' Mommy. I knew it was somebody that I had watched last year, and I love Stitchin' Mommy. I'm going to link her below. You totally have to check her out if you're not watching her. So apparently it's Stitchin' Mommy's brainchild. I know for sure. I never miss her videos. Hers are one of those videos that I make sure I catch every week. And I know that I watched her do Arbitrary August last year and thought, that looks fun. Put that on my calendar for next year. So, yeah, Sarah Stitchin' Mommy. Okay, Christine. My contact information is below. However, what also is below is a brand new Google form. I'm going a la Miss Michelle Bendy Stitchy, and I put together a Google form for the D-Stash. So that is going to be one of the first links in the description box. So if you enter for a giveaway, fill out that Google form. And that way I won't have to worry about, you know, you guys sending me your address each week or losing it or it getting lost in my Instagram DMs. Just everybody right now, take a second, fill out the Google form so that I have your address. Also, you know, I may just occasionally send fun little goodies out randomly. I love random acts of kindness. So fill out the Google form below and I will get this out to you. All right, this week's giveaway. Arbitrary August, I went into my stash of stuff and just pulled things out arbitrarily. And for giveaways for this month. So the first thing I'm going to be giving away is this cute little kit, a Stitcher's Heart. It is a scissors keeper kit. And it's really sweet and includes everything you need. It's got the Aida, the felt, the ribbon, floss, even a little needle minder. So if you want to stitch, look at that, it even has a cute little heart. Oh, did they stitch on the heart even? It's got everything you need in there to do this little scissors keeper. So if you want to stitch this, just let me know you want to stitch the scissor holder or scissor keeper. I'm going to be looking for the word scissors. Scissor. It's just one pair, so not plural. So that's what I'm going to be looking for the giveaway next week. And in the meantime, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Whether you're doing Arbitrary August or not, let me know. I'd love to know what you guys are working on. One of the things that I really loved, oh, this is something else I should mention because I want to get your feedback on it. One of the things I really loved about doing the Velo Stitchers was getting to know people in the community better, especially through our little like Zoom stitchy meetups and just messaging back and forth. I really liked that because it's one of the reasons I started Flosstube to begin with, was I didn't have a stitchy community. I didn't know anybody else that stitched, and I just wanted to connect with other stitchers. So I've really been loving that. I am part of Michelle Garrett's Patreon. I'm a patron of hers, and I love the community that she's building over there. We're kind of I get to know other stitchers and get to know Michelle better. And that's been really fun. She also has the join function on her YouTube. And it's something that, I don't know if you have to have a certain number of subscribers. I don't know how you get picked to have that option on your channel, but I do. I have the option to have people join the channel. And I've been really thinking about doing that. So there would be different tiers. Go check out Michelle so you can kind of see what it looks like. I'll link it below because I think it would be structured pretty similar. I think I like the entry level tier. I would maybe like to do an exclusive giveaway, like one exclusive giveaway a month to people who join, as well as kind of do maybe like a little picture and post every week. I would love to start vlogging every day, just so you guys can kind of see a little more what daily life looks like around here. And just, I feel like every day I'm playing in my stash and maybe kitting stuff up, and it'd be fun to have you guys along and maybe throw some polls in there. And then doing some like meetups, like either, I don't know if I can do them on Zoom, but I know that I can do like live chats on YouTube. And so that would probably be a tier as well, that we would like just sit and do live chats a couple of times a week, because I would really love to be able to like chat back with you guys a little bit more and have conversations. And so let me know if that's something that you would be interested in doing, if you would want to like join the channel. Like it is like a monthly monetary, there's tiers to it, but I've had a blast being one of Michelle's patrons, and I would just love to get to know you guys all a little better and spend more quality time other than me just talking to the camera once a week. So let me know your thoughts on that. If that's something you would be interested in, I would love to get to know. But I have, like, we're approaching 4,000 subscribers. I don't think all 4,000 of you want to chat with me all the time. And I don't know that I can get to know 4,000 people really well. But if there's some of you that would be in for that kind of thing, I think it could be really fun. So, all right, with that, I seriously am done. That's all I've got. Make sure you let me know if you want the scissor keeper. Have fun with Arbitrary August if you're doing it, or have fun with whatever stitching you're working on this week. And I will be back Sunday. Hopefully I remember what day it is this coming Sunday and I record. I also was just exhausted by the time we had been furniture shopping all day and finally got home and ate, and I realized it was Sunday and what time it was. You think this video was a little bit of a hot mess? That would have been a disaster last night. So have a great week. I will be back on Sunday, and until then, cheers.